So as you can tell from my American accent, I'm French and American, and I spent from the age of 7 to 34 in the United States. But my dream had always been to come to Europe, and especially come to Paris, actually, and live in Paris, which I did. And I lived there for 10 years, which was fantastic, and I loved it. And I met my husband, who's British, who kept telling me that England was the best place to live. So when I moved here, I thought I would get a job in my industry, which was travel and tourism and hotels. I had done mostly sales and marketing over a period of 25 years. But really, I knew that wasn't what it wasn't my love. I knew I wanted to do something else. And I always thought counseling or psychotherapy. And when I moved and I was thinking about it, I got a little card in my mailbox, as it happens so often. Whenever the thought comes into your mind that you want to do something, and you ask yourself a question, how can I do this, or I'd like to get some information or some help, something comes through your mailbox. So I did call the number, and a very nice gentleman said to me, go back to your office and look on the computer and look up life coaching. And as soon as I saw that, I said, this is it. This is what I want to do. Because people want to change quickly. They want to be able to move forward in their lives. They don't want to just talk about problems. They want to be in the solution. And hypnotherapy helps people to be in the solution. So I trained with one of the top hypnotherapists out here in England. And I started my practice in June 5 years ago. Because what's important with hypnotherapy is you need to be really confident that you can help people and get results. So it's not like something where, gee, we'll talk about it, and if you can work it out, great, but if we can't, no problem. Hypnotherapy is very much result-oriented, which is actually what I was used to in the corporate world. It wasn't like, well, gee, I tried and, I didn't achieve my objectives, and people would say, well, that's okay. It was either you achieved your objectives and you kept your job, or you didn't have a job. So for me, it made a lot of sense, and I really like that. I like to be able to tell people, this is the process we're going to go through, and if we do that together, you can achieve your outcome or your objective. But in NLP, we call it an outcome, because we start with that. We start with what is it that we want to achieve, and then the person describes it with all of their senses, what they're going to see, how they're going to feel, and what they're going to hear. And then we basically backtrack to what actions we have to take in order to get there. And this is what I do when I work with people. Why do I think that for me, I really am exactly in the place that I need to be and really bring something to my clients? It's because when I was 7 years old, I moved from my country of origin, where I was born, which is Haiti. And where my life was just magic. It was, for me, one of the most idyllic childhoods, and which I'll never forget. At 7 years old, there was a dictator that came into power called Papa Doc. You may have heard of him. And he brought terror to the country. And a lot of the intellectual elite at that point left. And my mother being French, she'd never lived in conditions like that. Although she lived in Paris, in occupied Paris with the Germans, which was terrifying. She decided that with my father that we were going to leave. So we moved to the United States, where my life just literally from one day to the next turned upside down. Through my experience as a child and having to very early on be uprooted from my environment, I'm really able to show people that they can learn the skills and they can learn the behaviors and attitudes to new environments, and to be able to not only survive but really live happily and have what they want in their lives.
That man got 3 dogs.
Oh, he's probably a dog walker. Look at Scout.
10, 12.
Come on, Scouty. Come on. But Valentina, we need to